looked at the break statement in the previous tutorial, but sometimes we just want to skip over something without ending the execution. So the continued statement was designed for just that purpose. It's used inside loops, so just like with the break statement, we'll look at how to use it in each PHP loop. So let's create an array that contains which vehicle I'm going to be buying next. So we'll go ahead and name the array next car and open up the array. So Porsche 911, top of the list. Maybe the Ferrari F355, one of my favorite Ferraris, the way it looks. In fact, as a matter of fact, I think how all Ferraris should have looked from that point on. Mitsubishi Evo, definitely my son's favorite car. It's starting to definitely grow on me. The R34 Skyline, definitely my favorite car in existence. And then the C8 Corvette. I already have 2 Corvettes, might as well add a third one. I'm just kind of realizing not only are you guys getting a good PHP education, you're getting a really good education as far as cars go and what to like if you already haven't made up your minds. If you're in some kind of conversation where people ask you, what kind of car do you like, mention any one of these to a car guy and they will definitely appreciate you. So let's start off doing the continue statement with a while loop. So we'll set I is equal to 0, while I is less than the count of the next car, number of elements. Nope, not that. Just need open close parentheses. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a similar check as in when we did the break statements. So what we'll say, if the next car I does not equal the R, let's change it up a little bit, does not equal the R34 Skyline, we just want to skip over the remainder of the statement. So what we're doing is we're going through and we're checking, okay, does the R34 or does the element not equal to R34? If it doesn't, just go ahead, keep going. If it does, echo, that's right, I'm getting a Skyline. So the logic's kind of weird on this because we're doing this not equals, and you would think that we would need to put in I++ right here. Unfortunately, that's really not the case, and you'll see why when we start walking through it right now. So I is equal to 0, is 0 less than the count of next car, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it is. So start executing. Okay, does next car I, which is Porsche 911, does that equal, or is that not equal R34? It does not equal R34, so that is in fact a true statement. So if it's a true statement, we're going to go ahead and continue, which means everything underneath here is going to be skipped, and the while loop is going to return up here, and what's going to end up happening is it's just going to keep repeating, because right now I is still 0. So everything got skipped after this continue statement, so it just basically skipped everything right there. But we need that I++. What happens if we get to the point of the R34 Skyline? Well, in that case, if we, for example, let's say we put the I++ inside the if statement. So if we put I++ inside the if statement and we remove it from here, then what ends up happening is it'll match the Skyline, it'll skip over to continue, and then it'll execute. That's right, I'm getting a Skyline, and if this statement is not there, this I++, then it'll come back around, and it'll just keep saying, oh, okay, Skyline is next, I will still say the same, and it'll just keep skipping the statement, and again, you'll end up with an infinite loop. So in order to resolve that, you need to have the I++ inside and outside of the loop. Now there is an additional little trick that we can do, and we can eliminate both of these. And since we're going to be doing a test every single time, remember with the post increment operator right there, we're evaluating I and then incrementing it as soon as we evaluate this expression, right? So if I is 0, it's going to say what's next car at 0, which is Porsche 911. Does that not equal to the R34? That's correct. It's also going to increment I, so now I is 1, but the expression is going to be evaluated. And then if that is a true statement, which the Porsche 911 is not an R34 Skyline, it's going to go ahead and continue, which means skip over this statement. So like I said, just a little bit of logic. I just wanted to kind of introduce you guys to it in case you see something like that and why it's being done. So let's go ahead, open up our browser. Let's go to the continue statement. And that's right, I'm getting a Skyline. If we modify it right here to say, I don't know, maybe inside here, echo I. No, let's just do it this way. And then refresh, we get 1, 2, 3, 5. Well, remember, we're not displaying 0 because this PostScript operator gets incremented, right? So it will display 1, 2, 3. Technically at next car I, which is at 0, 1, 2, 3, it does match Skyline. So then this gets incremented to 4, which means 4 is never actually displayed on the screen. So I know a little bit more logic, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand what exactly is happening as far as logic goes. And you'll see stuff like this all the time. So might as well get some kind of an introduction. But that is how you use the continue statement inside a while loop. So now that we understand that, and now that we understand this logic a little bit better, we can kind of breeze through the remainder of the loops. So we'll reinitialize the do while loop, and we'll say echo do while loop. We're going to also add break tag right there. We'll copy this, put it above this one, and we'll say while loop. And that's just to separate on the screen to say, oh, you're doing a while loop, now you're doing a do while loop, so that we don't get confused. We'll do our do while loop structure. Do while I is less than the count of next car. And guess what? We can just copy this exact same logic inside our do while statement, and we are going to be pretty good to go. So let's go ahead, go up here, refresh, while loop, that's right, I'm getting a Skyline, do while loop, that's right, I'm getting a Skyline. I guess for this purpose, we will need to echo out I each time, just to make sure that we understand exactly what's happening, because it's not as clear to see as the break tag. Alright, let's refresh. 1, 2, 3, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 5. Alright, so let's go ahead and modify the array slightly by adding an additional vehicle. So let's say vehicle number 2, since we're going to try to get rid of this logic a little bit. Vehicle number 2 is the Subaru STI. So that STI just happens to be a car that I already own. And what we're going to be doing now is looking for the STI and only skip if it matches the STI versus skip everything if it doesn't match the R34 Skyline. So we'll start off with our for loop this time. We'll echo out for loop. Come on. And we'll say for I is equal to 0, while I is less than the count of next car, I plus plus. And new logic, right? So inside our if statement, we're going to say if next car I, whatever I is at that point, is equal to Subaru STI, then we're going to continue. So only if it matches the STI, we're going to go ahead and continue. Otherwise, we're going to echo the next car, for example, I is definitely a possibility with enough subscribers. So make sure to subscribe. Let's go ahead and take a look. Refresh, there's the for loop. So I'll say the Porsche 911 is definitely a possibility with enough subscribers. 355 with enough subscribers, the Evo with enough subscribers, the R34 with enough subscribers, and even the C8 Corvette is a possibility with enough subscribers. So let's look at finally the last loop, which is the for each loop. And we'll do our little for each structure. So for each next car as car, if car is equal to Subaru STI, we're going to continue because I already own the STI. So let's go ahead and copy this statement, since it's going to be pretty much the exact same thing with a small little tweak. And that tweak happens right here because we're not going to be calling the next car I anymore. Since we're using a for each statement, we're just going to be using the value car. Alright, let's go back, hit refresh, and there we go. Porsche 911, 355, Evo, R34, and the C8. Definitely all possibilities with enough subscribers.